Hey guys, I'm sure that you would love to earn some extra income every month, especially if it's from a pretty hands-off approach. Generating interest income is one that I find is pretty often overlooked. Many people think, well, the interest I'm getting on my checking account with the bank is not even 1%, so is it even worth it? It's less than inflation. But stick with me and I'll show you how you can earn more interest from your investments and also how you can use it to be a source of passive income. I've been doing a series of videos on this channel where I talk about ideas for generating passive income, and I've already covered real estate investing and also dividends. So if you missed those, I've included a link down in the description below. Guys, I love supporting you on your financial journey. And you may remember that recently I was offering a free financial consult to one of you. Jackson and I recently had a really great session and he said he found a lot of value from it. So I'd like to gift this to one of you again. All you have to do, it's really easy, is just go into the comment section and say I subscribed. Then I'll randomly select somebody and we can set up a session so we can talk about all of your personal finance related questions about savings, how to save, talk about investments and some important things happening in the economy. Okay, so back to interest income. First off, what is it? For most, when they think of interest income, they think of the few dollars that they maybe get every month from their checking or saving account at the bank. And this is usually not much to get excited about, especially now with interest rates super low all over the world. So, aside from the less than 1% that you can get from your saving account, are there other options to try and generate greater interest income from your investments? Well, the answer is yes. And in today's video, I'm going to show you some great options for generating additional interest income from your investment and use this to generate a passive income stream, by investing in bonds and ETFs and mutual funds, amongst others. For most of you, the easiest way is probably going to be to invest in some sort of fixed income ETF. These can be a really cost-effective way to get some exposure to the bond market, but without having to pay the higher fees that you would in a mutual fund alternative. This may surprise you, but the bond market is actually way bigger than the stock market that we hear about all the time. In fact, on an average day, the total value of trades done on the bond market is more than triple that of the stock market. There are some high interest or high yield ETFs, as they're sometimes called, that pay out around 5 to 6% in interest every year, which is really not bad compared to that 1% that you're getting on your saving account. Now, in the title of this section of the video, I also included mutual funds. And generally, I'm not really that keen on mutual funds, mainly because of the high fees associated with them, and it's just not so cost effective compared to an ETF alternative. But there are some mutual funds that are really focused on generating high interest income that are worth exploring. I've come across some that pay out over 8% in interest every year, and I haven't really found an ETF at that same level. Maybe you have, and if you have, let us know in the comment section. But a word of caution when it comes to these mutual funds, because they actually tend to have a slightly higher risk. One of the main reasons for that is because of the use of leverage. And this is just when they're using debt to make some of their investments. So they're borrowing money in order to buy the bonds that they're investing in. And this does increase the overall risk of investing in that fund. And many of the bonds that you'll find in both the ETF and the mutual fund tend to be a bit higher risk. They have a lower credit rating, and this is considered a more risky investment. So make sure you just do a bit of research so that you're comfortable with what you're investing in. But either way, to help get you started, I've included some useful links down in the description, which contains tons of different ETFs and mutual funds that are really focused on high interest returns. And if you're finding this video useful, I would really love it if you can just support me by hitting that like button and sharing it with others that may find this video useful. So I just talked about how ETFs are appealing because of the lower fees that they charge, and our mutual funds are appealing because they may be able to generate higher returns, but it comes at a bit of a price with higher fees. And for the active investors, there may be an opportunity to try and get the best of both worlds, the lower fees and the potentially higher returns. So how do we do it? Something that I've done quite a lot in the past is to look at the mutual funds and look at the individual underlying investments, the bonds that they're buying in that mutual fund. And then I go ahead and on my trading platform, I purchase those bonds directly and add them to my portfolio. And this way, you can basically build up your own little mutual fund and benefit from the higher returns, but without having to pay the higher fees associated with investing in a mutual fund. So it's a win-win. Look, it does require more work, and generally your portfolio can't be too small to apply this strategy, but it is worth exploring to try and generate some really good interest income returns. And the final way to generate some passive income from interest, and one that's become pretty popular in the last 3 to 5 years, is peer-to-peer lending. Basically, you lend people some money that they would ordinarily get from the bank, and you're able to charge interest on the loan that you give them. Now, this isn't one that I've done personally, but I know quite a lot of people that have done this in the past, and they were able to charge fairly high interest rates, and so the return you can get and the interest income that you can get is pretty good. But this form of passive income does come with quite a bit of risk. Let's say you're loaning somebody $5,000. Well, you would need to have the ability to assess that they're going to be able to pay you back. Are they earning enough to be able to pay you back? Do they have a stable job? Maybe they've got a lot of outstanding debts and there's a reason why the bank turned them down in the first place. What is their credit score? So there's quite a lot of factors that you need to consider. So although this option can be quite passive, once they're making the monthly repayments with interest, there is an initial level of homework that you need to do to make sure that they would be able to pay back your $5,000 in the first place, never mind the interest that you're charging. But there are some companies that can help you with this type of thing and offer some support. Now, I've included some more information down in the description with some useful links, but I don't have any affiliation with them and I haven't used them personally in the past. And there you have it, guys, some really practical and easy ways for you to generate some passive income with interest. I really hope that you found this video interesting and useful, and if you did, please do me a quick favor and just hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really gives me a big boost. I'll see you next time.